Welcome to the Olly YouTube channel. Today is a prep day for the track meaning drag strip. Tomorrow evening, hopefully, I'll be hitting the strip for the first time in a long time in this car and seeing what kind of numbers we get, which will be super cool. In the meantime, I've been working on my oil loss issue, which is a bit tangential to the drag strip because I think it can run a quarter mile without losing oil. Like, that's fine. It's just when I do long stints on the highway that it loses oil. So today I am doing some test drives. I have the fuel pump tuned up a bit after reassembling everything, putting the injectors back in, putting on new hard lines. So I turned up the fuel. We're gonna see if it rev hangs. Also, the governor cage is unwelded now, so it runs much better. And then right here, you can probably see, is a water bottle zip tied to my wiper, and that is my breather hose going into it. When we're out driving today, we're gonna hit highway speeds for a short time, and we're gonna see whether or not this leaks oil / at what RPM it does. Basically, clear water bottle, breather hose on the dash. I'll be able to see exactly when the breather starts to put out oil and how much. So far, it's been pretty tough troubleshooting the oil loss issue when you can't see anything that's happening. It's like I'll drive for a while and then open my hood and there's just oil everywhere. It's not helpful. So that's what's going on. The other day, I hooked the catch can drain to my turbo oil drain, and that was a huge mistake because I didn't put a check valve in it. So when the crankcase pressure goes up with RPM increase, it just pushed all the oil up and into my catch can, so I lost like basically all my engine oil in the course of like 2 minutes of driving. Anyhoozle, yeah, we're gonna fire it up. It's already warmed up because I've had it idling. Here we go. Basically no oil came out, and that was 10 minutes of highway driving, so it's pretty weird to me that I lose oil on longer ones. The only thought about that I have is I wonder if it has to do with the elevation change. Like on every fat drive I took that I had a problem, I went over like 2 mountain passes and probably changed 5,000 feet. I don't really know what that would do exactly, but to a breather system, I feel like it should be fine. I don't know. Tangent. Tried retuning the pump just now. I like re-indexed the throttle to have less throttle and more fuel screw, and then it almost wanted to run away, so I'm trying it the other way around for once. Moved it so there is more throttle and less fuel screw, but I think we're still catching the fuel screw lever when we put it all the way to the floor. We'll see how it drives. I feel like it probably will be worse, and probably I need to do it the way I just described, but here we go. Fuel until I'm hitting fuel screw, which is probably not how to drive a car. That is wild. It's like I'm on off switch. Okie dokie. That was cool. Basically what I did, again, indexed this so that the actual throttle throw is way minimized. So I basically turned down the throttle position a lot. But what that means is when you pull it, this friction here is actually the fuel screw lever. How this is set up right now, the fuel adjustment screw is my gas pedal, which is fucked up in the best way. It's not that crazy, but it is wild. I think we're getting absolutely 100% fueling out of this pump. I really do think so. So this was my breather oil loss test, and we just did 20-30 minutes of driving, and there's a teeny bit of oil residue in here. I am absolutely stumped. If somebody knows where my oil is going when I drive 4 hours, but the fact that there's absolutely not a drop missing when I drive for 20 minutes, please, for the love of God, let me know. Those problems started when I used to have my breather hose teed into the exhaust. Honestly, probably should have never changed that. But I wanted to be more legit and not have it come out the exhaust because I was always concerned that there was like oil getting burned in my motor because of the oil vapor coming out of the breather. So I undid that and hooked it up to this catch can, but ever since I've had the catch can, I've had this problem with it losing oil, which is weird because it's a catch can. You think it should catch oil. I don't know if the catch can is acting as a restriction and that's the problem somehow. Perhaps what I need to do is hook this up better to this and go on a 2-hour drive and see what happens. Maybe these breather catch cans actually just suck and something about them makes more oil appear. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact the hose is up and not like over? I don't know. So fuel screw, as you can see, is turned pretty dang far out right there. Quite far out, but as you push this right there, what's hitting is actually the fuel adjustment inside the pump. So I think we're getting 100% fuel, but it's pretty weird because you have basically no normal driving throttle. But this will be perfect for drag racing because as soon as you hit the gas, you're gonna have like 100% throttle. It builds boost in like 3 seconds. So with this setup, what I'm seeing, almost instant boost to about 20 PSI, and it would clean up at the top end. Like no matter how sooty it starts, it would clean up after a certain RPM. But 20 PSI out of this pump is way more than I was getting out of it previously, so we're gonna leave these mods as they are for racing. I did go through the rest of my stuff the other day, checked turbo connections, intercooler. Thank you so much for watching. That was a whole lot of travel, but the important takeaways are A, my pump is tuned really weird right now, but it's working good, and I also think it's the reasonable limit of this pump. And B, my breather doesn't actually leak a lot of oil under any normal driving conditions and even heavy boost. So if you have an idea on why I might be losing oil through my breather on only long highway drives, but not short highway drives, let me know. I appreciate you. Have a good day out there.